Out at you when we get there. And we are watching that big rain event off to our east this week. And as I said, this is going to be several days with just a slow moving system, weakening as it moves inland, but still bringing a lot of rain, it looks like, to Florida, Georgia, and probably South Carolina, as well as maybe North Carolina, parts of it at least as well. And this will take us through most of this week. You can see those watches and warnings out, and it really isn't much longer that we're expecting a landfall here to the east of Panama City, around the Big Bend of Florida. At least this isn't the most populated part of Florida, but there is going to be some significant wind, of course. There's some surge along the coast tonight and tomorrow, and obviously heavy rain already ongoing in parts of the state. Now, we are expecting it to continue to move inland, slow down, kind of lose the steering that it's had, but it does look like it will be still a strengthening Category 1 hurricane at landfall sometime early tomorrow, and then just taking all week to move up the coast, maybe meandering out into the western Atlantic again, getting a little bit more strength perhaps, and still bringing rain to these parts of the southeast coast of the U.S. So again, 6 to 12 inches, but some spots will easily get more than that. I think maybe 18 or 20 inches on the high end. And then here we are for the next 7 days. This is our rain forecast, and we have barely anything expected. So you know what that means. We're going to be heating up without a whole lot of rain this week. We do have a next wave out in the Atlantic. It is not into the Caribbean yet, but this one, we have a really long time to watch it. It's got to cross the entire Caribbean and then maybe eventually make it toward Yucatan, Bay of Campeche, and then one model, at least the European model, does bring it into Mexico. And this is clearly the one the National Hurricane Center is basing its general forecast area on, or development area, and you can see it here. Now, I want to point out, we're going to have so long to watch this. This is the forecast on August 13th. It's August 4th today. So we're going to be talking about this as it stays. It looks like pretty messy across the Caribbean, and then maybe eventually organizes somewhere in this general area in the southern Gulf. But we are looking at the upper pattern, which might help us out along part of the Gulf Coast at least. Here's Debbie losing the trough that's drawn it to the north and sort of just meandering over here. Here's the big high that's keeping us super hot this week. And note that as we get toward that same August 10th, 11th, 12th timeframe, here is the high building even closer and closer to our part of the Gulf Coast and South Texas. So that's why the European model just keeps everything far to the south. So we will see. We have a long time to watch it. We'll keep you updated. At this point, though, we have no threats for the next 7 days or longer. And the main thing, again, is the heat. Very hot weather as that big rain event is happening off to our east through this week. And again, next weekend, likely still just dealing with intense heat, maybe a 20 or 30% chance for a couple of showers and storms. And that's about it heading into the next 7 days. So a really typical, very August-like kind of week for us with a lot of heat and heat advisories likely every single day. Now, one thing you may notice, the dew point has risen a little bit, but during the day it went down a touch, and our humidity, you may have noticed, was very slightly lower. So that will be something that might actually limit the heat index at least, but the air temperature is going to get to upper 90s and I think touch 100 at the airport. It already has in a couple of spots, but it will be right in that range pretty much every day this week. Live radar showing a couple of small showers still wrapping up north of the lake. We're expecting North Shore and South Shore lows 70s to about 80. And that's another thing this week. Temperatures are not going to get that much lower than 80, it looks like, for a big chunk of our area. So no really significant cool down for the overnight hours. Tomorrow I have 97, 20% chance for a couple of storms, but let me show you our high resolution model, making your plans on your Monday. This is lunchtime. We'll fast forward. This is 3 p.m. Couple of stray thunderstorms possible. Never can rule it out this time of year, but with that high just kind of pressing on us, it's not going to allow a lot of cooling rain to form. So this is 6 p.m. tomorrow, maybe a shower or two, maybe a storm here or there, and that's about it. And this is Monday, 11 p.m., much quieter. So here we go. If Monday we make it to 97, I think Tuesday we're going to bump up a little bit more as that high strengthens. Wednesday and Thursday, I have us right around 100 degrees. And then Friday and Saturday even still in the upper 90s. And next weekend, I brought the rain chance to about 20 or 30%. We'll see, though. At least the European model still has very little rain all the way through the upcoming weekend. So make sure your pets are cool. Make sure people around you are doing okay. Dress cool, stay hydrated. You know the drill this hot August week.